Is New York in play? Well, it sure looks like it. According to a brand new poll by Siena College, which is located in New York, Trump is closing the gap. In 2020, Dementia Joe won New York by 23 points. Now, as a result of Trump's exposure in New York, coupled with Dementia Joe's horrible policies, Trump has closed the gap to just 10 points.
We're very close in New York, I understand, and we're leading in the country by a lot. Poll just came out a little while ago, as you saw yesterday, that we're up in every swing state and up by a lot in every swing state. So I think we're going to do very well, and we're going to make a play for New York. They said, I just heard there was a very good poll came out. Normally, a Democrat will win New York. Biden is the worst president in history, and we have some very bad people here, but we have the greatest people, and they're right behind me. And they all want us to run, and we're gonna run very hard in New York. New York, we have a good chance of winning New York, in my opinion, but we're going to give it a shot.
Can Trump really flip New York? Even thinking that was possible was a pipe dream. But now, because of the Dems' insistence on lawfare, it might actually happen. As you saw earlier, Dementia Joe in 2020 won New York by 23 points. But now, Trump has closed the gap to just 10 points. And as this insane Alvin Bragg trial continues, and as they force him to stay in New York, he's actually using the city as an impromptu headquarters for his campaign. And it's working. He might actually pull this off. At the very least, he is going to make the left defend New York. They are going to have to spend money and resources to defend New York, and they didn't plan on that whatsoever. The entire lawfare charade is backfiring in a big way. And that's because they were so stupid. They tried to put Donald Trump, a New Yorker, in a box in New York. And I want you to pay attention to something. It's very important. Notice that none of the big Democrat names are saying anything about Trump in New York. Not a single word from the New York governor, Kathy Hochul. Nothing at all from Eric Adams. Not a peep from Jerry Nadler. Chuck Schumer, he's completely silent. And not that it matters, but AOC has been basically invisible. And as for big mouth Hillary, who lives right in New York, she has made some stupid comments on TV, but nothing in Manhattan. Don't you find that a little bit odd? What do they know? Well, actually, I think we do know what they know. They've seen the actual poll numbers, the ones they get internally, that probably showed Dementia Joe actually losing or getting close to losing New York. To me, their silence indicates that New York is in play. Now, I know you saw last week the reception that Trump received at the bodega visit, but check out this greeting he received at a construction site in New York.
He's going to talk here about New York City and quality of life issues they say that everyday Americans are dealing with. The Trump team tells us these
everyday Americans are dealing with so much right now that, Dementia Joe's not talking to them about that. But Trump's going to go speak to them.
Union workers who are here to talk to the president are paying the price of failed economic policies currently in the country. So the president wants to talk with these people to gain their support. These are hardworking New Yorkers, union members who have been working on this big construction site here in Midtown Manhattan near.
Now remember, union workers have been historically, at least in New York, Democrats.
Trump Tower. And let's just take a listen to what the crowd's saying.
We love Trump. USA. Gotta love this. We love Trump. We love Trump. We love Trump. We love Trump. We love
Trump. So you can hear those chants, and then you guys can see the former president walking up and down here and shaking hands.
Let me ask you a question. Have you seen anything, even remotely similar by Dementia Joe? No, you haven't. He cannot draw flies. He can't draw anyone. But we're supposed to believe that, there were 81 million votes or something. Wherever Trump goes, the crowds react. These guys absolutely love Trump. Many of them have probably worked on Trump projects or Trump buildings. And what's very important to understand, they know firsthand that the media is lying to people. Listen to what one of the guys on the job site had to say about meeting Trump and what it meant to him when he signed and autographed his helmet.
I built a lot of buildings with the Teamsters, and they like me, a lot of Teamsters here. And it's an amazing show of affection.
I was there in the back, and I asked, hey, Mr. President, could you please sign my Weldon helmet? Handed it over. Secret Service tried to deny it first, and then he was like, no, let me get that. So
you'll never wear that again?
I can't. This one's going to go on the mantle at the home. Our business manager, who was on TV, he reached out to every single presidential candidate to see if they wanted to address our membership. And he got a response directly from Trump, directly from RFK, and he has not received a single email or memo from Biden or his team.
You don't see that happen anywhere with Dementia Joe. Dementia Joe tries to come off as if he's one of the guys. He's for the common man. He's from Scranton, Pennsylvania. But it doesn't work. Maybe because people can tell he's fake and that he's full of it. Remember, twice now, he's been invited to New York to talk to common people. And both times, he completely ignored those people. Even though with the officer's funeral in New York City, the cop that got killed, and he didn't go, he went to Radio City Music Hall, hung out with Lizzo, brought in some money, but never went to see the officer or their family. In fact, didn't even call. And now this time he gets invited to the job site, doesn't go, completely blows it off, doesn't even return their phone call. But today he shows up on the Howard Stern program. So he flew from Washington up to New York after seeing what Trump did yesterday with the construction workers, doesn't go see them, even though he was invited, but goes on the Howard Stern show and just completely lies his butt off. That's a whole nother video, but I'm sure you might be able to see some of the things that he said. But of course, Donald Trump accepted the invite to the construction site to meet the union workers. Here's what the president of the union had to say.
I put out a poll in my union. President Trump is leading Joe Biden 3-1 on my presidential poll out of my 9,000 members.
Out of 9,000 members, Trump leads in a poll of the union workers 3-1. 3-1. Imagine that in New York.
Right now, we are very tired of the situation with groceries, inflation, gas prices, illegal immigration, crime. We're living it every day in New York City. In the past, we are basically Democrats, all of us.
Now that's a very important distinction. These aren't guys that were behind Trump when he ran last time. These guys are Democrats, hardworking guys. You know, basically the epitome of the blue-collar worker. And Dementia Joe just blows them off.
And after what's happened the last 4 years in this country, Democrats are basically pushing everybody to the other side. We're a very patriotic group, and we love our country, and we want the best for America. We are tired of immigration. We're tired of our tax dollars going to immigration.
And by the way, he's about to raise taxes. Remember, I talked in my video yesterday. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. He wants to raise the capital gains rate to 44%, and he wants to create a 25% imputation tax, where he's going to tell you, even though you haven't realized the income, that you're gonna realize the income. It's kind of complicated. Go back and watch my video. But all he wants to do is raise taxes more and more to pay for these newcomers.
We're tired of the crime. We need to put a handle on things in this country and bring it back to how it should be.
And many of those people, you guys who are out here, are lifelong Democrats, like who you just heard from. And that gives you a pulse on.
Remember in his poll, he said they were 3-1 for Trump. And these people are all lifelong Democrats. So he's already flipping the union.
What average, everyday Americans are feeling in terms of President Joe Biden, who just got a union endorsement yesterday in D.C. One of the things the president said about former President Trump is that he doesn't connect with blue-collar average American workers. But we saw quite a different scene out here today in New York City.
Dementia Joe, in a true demented statement, says that Trump does not connect with the average blue-collar man. Yet in two separate occasions in New York, the police officer's funeral and now with the construction workers, the average worker actually loves Donald Trump. The actual blue-collar person wants Donald Trump as president on a 3-to-1 margin right now. And that's just with the union workers in New York City. So that's going to swell. Understand, that's not where it's going to stay. It's going to swell and get bigger. These people all have friends. They all have family members. It's not going to stay 3-to-1. He's already flipping the state, and I think the Dems know it. Trump is going to continue using this phony trial as a campaign booster. And beyond these quick stops before or after court, Trump is planning some huge rallies in New York.
And I think we have a good chance of winning New York. We're going to give it a big play. We're going to the South Bronx to do a rally. We're going to be doing a rally at Madison Square Garden, we believe. We think we're signing Madison Square Garden to do it. We're going to have a big rally.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to pat myself on the back on camera for that. But understand, as a marketer, somebody who's been involved in advertising and marketing for 25 years, I saw this coming. It made complete sense. Remember me saying this a week ago? Smart people would realize that 10 more weeks of this is going to cause an insurmountable problem that I doubt Poo-Poo Diaper Joe can overcome. Remember, this is just day 3. I can't even imagine what Donald Trump is going to do in New York City over the next 3 months. Who knows? Maybe he'll hold a rally at Madison Square Garden or Yankee Stadium. It would be epic. Having a huge rally in Manhattan would strike fear into the heart of the Democrats. And if he held it in Madison Square Garden, he would absolutely fill it. FYI, there are over 30,000 police officers in the New York area. In addition, there are over 10,000 firefighters in the New York area. Never mind all the other Trump supporters who may be in the tri-state area or those who would travel like myself to New York to go to that rally. And by the way, the seating capacity of Madison Square Garden is only 19,000. So he'd definitely sell it out. And as I said, and you saw it, I said, he should probably hold it in Yankee Stadium. Wait a second, in that clip, he said the South Bronx is a place where he may want to hold a rally. Guess what's in the South Bronx? Yankee Stadium. This isn't going well for Dementia Joe whatsoever. As I said in one of my other videos, if I was Dementia Joe or people on his administration, I'd get the word to Alvin Bragg or Jack Smith to make this stuff go away. Dismiss the charges. Forget it. Get him out of the public eye. He's killing us. But they're not that smart. They're going to keep trying to do this lawfare, not understanding that his numbers keep growing and his support keeps growing. So y'all keep on with this lawfare. I hope it works out for you. But we all know it's not. I think this guy right here says it best.
What's it like seeing so many Republicans in Manhattan, so many Trump supporters in Manhattan? Does that surprise you?
No, not at all. It's turning now. Trump's turn again.
What's your message to Joe Biden?
F you.
That's how a lot of us, and I mean a lot of us, are feeling right now. Let me know what you think about Trump holding a rally in Madison Square Garden or possibly Yankee Stadium. And would you go up to Manhattan to go to the rally? Love to hear what you guys have to say. Talk to you soon.